everyone, and welcome to another edition of Netters Network Thursday Things. We're going to have a very special guest tonight, but before I introduce her, let me introduce to you that guy at the end of the bar. You also know him as Carton the Klingon Cleric, and most dear to me, the love of my life. How you doing tonight, sweetie? And what are you sipping on,
I'm
Troy?
doing very well. I thought you were going to say my very special co-host, but he's special for a whole different reason. I am sipping on a zero sugar grapefruit soda, but looking forward to something a little bit more of an adult beverage tomorrow night.
Do you know what you're going to be drinking yet?
I don't yet. It's gonna be a hard choice if I want to do it thematic, because of the topic that I've picked. We'll talk more about that later.
I figure what you do is you go back behind the bar, close your eyes, put your hands in one of those, circly motions, grab a bottle, and that's what you're drinking.
If I do that, I might end up drinking straight grenadine or something like that. I don't want that.
All the mixers are on the one side.
Well, that's
the hard
true.
liquor is on the left side.
Well, that's true.
So you would end up with hard liquor of some sort.
And speaking of having a very special guest, I thought it was kind of cool when I saw that Deleted Scenes had shared out the stream, and he says, for the first time, Sin's Corner will be appearing on Netters Network Thursday Things. And I thought, for the first time, we were able to get Sin on our channel.
That's true. That is so true. See a bunch of people are dropping into the chat. So before I bring in our special guest, let me say a quick hello to our chat. And then I'm going to bring in our special guest. So first I have, I want that one. First I have that, last call Troy Pacelli guy saying how much he loves me.
True.
I think he likes me or something.
I was also suggesting you remove that goofy, but you did.
I did. Well, I removed the heart from the YouTube thing, but I haven't removed my heart from
Yeah, thank you. You're sweet.
We've been married 31 years. We get it. We
Gotta
get to be
expect a
sappy.
little bit of sappy,
Yeah.
you know?
We have Connie Clary in the chat. How you doing, sweetie? Deleted Scenes giving us a salute, and I'm glad it's not a one-fingered one.
But all of you should be giving us a one-fingered salute by hitting that thumbs up down below, please.
Yes, please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. And I've heard people say that they're not always getting notifications, so make sure the notifications bell is rung.
That's right.
Let's see, I have Big L Presents saying, have a wonderful stream. Hope everyone has a great evening. Of course, we have Age Boomer. You also know him as one of the Geeky Geezers, and you'll see him on Sunday, and we'll talk about that.
He's my
later.
designated driver. Couldn't do Friday nights without him.
Well, you can't do Friday nights without me, because I'm the one who gets you to bed.
Yeah, you're the one that actually walks me back up the stairs, right?
Let's see. Big L. Samuel Proctor. I promise, sweetie, I'm not singing. Or I should say, I'm promising Troy isn't singing.
You reserve the right to sing on your show, right?
It's like, I can sing on mine. Okay.
But I won't call you Boo.
Don't call me Boo like I'm some kind of ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Adega Outlaw. Long time no see. Hi,
Doctor
sweetie.
and author, welcome, welcome.
Let's see.
I think that
I'm down at
catches
the
us
bottom
up.
now, so that is everybody.
Yep.
So I do want to welcome everyone that has come in today. Now, without further ado, I'd like to bring on our very special guest, Sin's Corner. How you doing, sweetie?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good. What are you sipping on?
Water.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
I
Water right
actually
here.
I have it's a sparkling water. It's called Soleil. It's a blood orange flavored.
Absolutely.
I had originally gotten these when I was sick last year because some things I just couldn't keep down, and the seltzer water seemed to help. So it's like I still have some of these left over because I never got around to them. So I'm like, might as well finish them off.
Yeah, they're good. I like to add a little bit of lemon juice to mineral water. I drink mineral water and lemon juice almost every night.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because lemon's good for you. So.
Alrighty.
It is. In fact, if you're not feeling well, what's really nice is lemon, honey, and if you have it, ginger root or candied ginger, and have that in tea. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's all natural. There's antioxidants in there. Great stuff. I use it all the time when I'm not feeling well, and it helps perk you up. And then we found out from, I think it was Jesse Guajardo, that if you get Jumex guava nectar, that stuff also, it's like a miracle juice or something. I had a half a glass of that and I felt so much better.
Oh, really? I bet, is it loaded with sugar?
It might
Sounds
be.
like it might be.
Might be.
Okay.
I actually didn't.
It's definitely a fruit juice.
Yeah,
Whether
it's
or not there's sugar added to it, we'd have to look
it's
at
yeah.
that.
There's probably it's probably so I eat with a keto approach. So a lot
As
of those
little carbs as possible.
a lot of those juices and stuff are kind of off limits to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
it was like
I'm with you.
because it's like I had been sick for 3 months, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you try this? It'll make you feel better because that's what he has when he's not feeling well." And we tried it. And I was like, "I do feel better." So I'm not sure what's in it, but I mean,
Well-
it kind of tastes like pears because I've never had guava nectar before. I'm like, it tastes like pears,
Either.
so it's
Okay.
really good.
I believe you.
And the deleted sons. While we're on the subject,
Where is Jesse? Yeah, I don't know.
Officially in the stream.
That's true. Although, you know what? Sometimes he comes in and goes, I'm running late. Sorry. What'd I miss?
No worries. It's
Yeah,
like, you know what?
exactly.
So,
And there's always the rewatch, too.
Sin's Corner.
Yes.
First question I usually ask is, how did you come up with your name, and why did you want to start a channel? What made you start the channel?
I officially started it in November of 2018, and my original plan was I was going to do a decluttering channel.
Oh, I actually like that.
Yeah.
I have one video. It's unlisted. I've shared it with, I think, one YouTuber where I was like talking about my office, and it was like an accountability thing. And I was like, I don't have time for this crap. I can't do it. So I didn't post anything until July 2019. I decided I wanted to start posting reactions to trailers because I love movies, I love stories. I was kind of inspired by Grace Randolph at the time because she would often do trailer reactions, and I would get all excited about movies based on people reacting to trailers. So I did that. I would do that a lot in my breaks between like the work that I do. And so that's when I officially started was July. I mean, my official, what I do now, I consider July 12th my birthday of the channel, and I just call it Sin's Corner because just my little corner of YouTube.
Okay.
I couldn't think of anything more creative.
Well, it's like when I was first starting my channel, it was just Netter's Network. Because it was like, okay, I want to do like helpful hints and that sort of thing. And I do have some helpful hints up there. I've got a couple of product reviews. So it became kind of like a hodgepodge of different things. But I figure, you know, you have a couple of different things up there. People will be interested in the helpful hints, or they'll be interested in the product reviews. So I'll get an audience for something somewhere.
Right.
And then I started doing retro cinema. And then every week, after the streams are winding down, we're like, okay, well, coming up, we got Sunday. Then we got this going on. We got Monday. We got this going on. Tuesday is this. When it got to Thursday, Thursdays were always open. No one had Thursdays. And I got tired of it. So I'm like, that's it. I am starting a channel on Thursday. So Thursday things came about.
Okay.
Real quick, let's welcome The View with Drew. Thanks so much for being
Oh, hey,
here,
Drew. Drew is like so awesome. He shows up to pretty much every live stream that I'm on or my other fellow movie YouTube buddies are on. He's everywhere.
Well, it sounds
How he
like
has time.
it sounds like you're in the same the same ballpark as deleted scenes. You're starting to accumulate stalkers. That's not a bad thing.
Well, I guess if you want to look at it that way, he stalks everybody. He's just very
Yeah,
supportive, and I
that's
don't say that.
awesome.
I don't use stalking in a bad way at all. He's very supportive, and
I
he's
didn't
got.
mean it that way.
I know, but he's the cool thing about Drew, and I'm going to plug his channel for him. He's
I'm
got
putting the link in there.
There you go.
awesome. He's got the most succinct movie reviews in all of YouTube. Like they're a minute or less usually. And meanwhile, I'm like, I can't hardly go
It
less
sounds
than
like,
10 minutes talking about a movie.
It sounds like what we need to do is do like like a lineup and compare. You know, when Drew does one, see if Big Al Presents has done one of his 10-word reviews. Watch one and then watch the
10-word
other.
reviews. Yeah,
I
can't even imagine. I can't do that.
Well, and he even says, he's like, sometimes it's like he's counting out the words, and I figure his process has got to be something like, if he can't do it in 10 words, maybe it deserves more than a 10-word review, and he does a regular review on it. But it's pretty true. I've seen the ones that he's done, and I'm like, yeah, I see why that's only a 10-word review. And they're usually like, you know, middle of the road. Yeah, it was enjoyable, but you know. But you mentioned being inspired by Grace Randolph, and on that point, I want to say I'm so thankful for you, because we have all needed a counterpoint, an option to Grace Randolph, because, oh my goodness, I'll be honest with you, I watched Grace Randolph way back in the day, but not anymore.
I don't really watch her anymore.
Yeah.
It was interesting because I found out my brother and Grace had both worked on a project. They were both attached to the same project. It was like a manga comic sort of thing that she had written it. He had done some artwork on another story within the same project. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool, but she always got me excited about movies, and I saw her doing these reactions, like I said, and I was like, you know what? I can take 5-6 minutes out of my day in between working to just film a trailer reaction, because it's really short. You know, it's not like, what are you know, don't need to go off on an essay about a trailer, though sometimes I would, but because that's me. But then I started following her on Twitter, and because I like to see her, she had all this news. And that's kind of the circle that I generally gravitate toward on Twitter, stuff with movies. And one day she blocked me, and I was like, that's really weird. So I wrote her, and I was like, I just noticed you blocked me. That's strange. I like your feed because of all the news and stuff. And she says, well, she says, and basically throughout the correspondence, from what I understand, she has like something automated on her Twitter, so somehow her automated thing thought that I had posted like a link to one of my own reviews, or I had done some spamming or something, and so she unblocked me. She said, I'll be happy to unblock. She unblocked me, and then a while later, every once in a while she trends on Twitter for whatever reason. She was trending, and people were really pissed at her, and I can't remember what it was about, but I went to her Twitter to see how she was handling it, and I was blocked again.
Yeah.
And I wrote her, and she never wrote me back. And the only thing I can think is that I follow certain circles that maybe give her a hard time. And so by extension, she just, whatever her bot or her, whatever she does on her Twitter, decided it was time to
I've heard
block me again.
Tom Connors over at Midnight's Edge talk about he's been blocked by people, and he's been talking on air with some of the other people in the Midnight's Edge group, and they're, some of these people have blockchains where they literally will block, if they block some big blue check mark, it blocks everyone that follows
them. That's crazy.
And that seems like the stupidest, most ridiculous thing if you are in some sort of media. You want all the followers you can get, whether it's pro or con. I'm sure that, this is probably a bad example, but we'll use it anyway. Fox News probably wants to be followed by people from the left, as well as from the right, as well as in the middle, socialist, whatever your political economic bent is, they want you following them, even if it's for hate watches and nasty comments.
Engagement.
Because all of that is good, and I see it happening. I hate to get, let's just say one side of the aisle tends to do this more than the other, and starts blocking people that they don't agree with, and then you find out, this page, this magazine, this paper, this news outlet going out of business, laying everybody off. Gee, I wonder why, when you've cut out more than half of your potential followers.
Right?
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, I can get, blocking or muting or limiting, people also limit who can comment on their Twitter. So then the only way you can get around that is to quote their tweet. Then you
Yeah.
can sort of respond to it. I mean, I
Right.
guess I can get, if you just don't want to deal with people being outright assholes to you, just blocking them or whatever.
Yeah.
But to just block like everybody by extension of who follow, I just so weird to me.
I
So
can't remember who it was I was talking to made the suggestion. You don't have to block people, you can mute them. This way their comment is still there, but you don't get alerts of it,
right.
Yeah.
because I'm reactionary. I'll go on and I'll start typing and I'll and it's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time, and I'm busy.
Yeah, it's what do they call it? Like trying to teach a swine how to dance. You're wasting your time and you're pissing off the pig.
I like to lead these comments. Probably blocked by John Cusack,
Dan Slott and that Green Lantern guy. Well,
Green
good
Lantern
company.
guy?
You're probably better off.
Which Green Lantern guy?
Given a social media, could
Ryan
very well
Reynolds, is
be a user named Green Lantern guy.
I Sturp.
I don't know
Okay.
for sure. He
Yeah.
may also mean one of the writers from Green
okay.
Lantern.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
a lot of
I'm like,
those
what did Ryan
writers.
Reynolds do?
No.
No, I
I
didn't
don't
think it
even
was him.
associate him with Green Lantern
Yeah.
anymore.
All right, poor Ryan Reynolds.
No, but absolutely. It's like there's so many celebrities now that it's like I don't care anymore. And it's unfortunate because, and I think you've seen this too, Sin, and I think we've even talked about this. You got to separate oh my gosh, that actor, that actress says the most stupid things on social media, but I want to see that movie, And
Well,
it's
for me, it totally depends. Sometimes I cannot separate.
Exactly. And I know that Deleted Scenes agrees with me with at least one.
Yeah.
He has shared
Well, you
about one movie that he walked out of because a certain person was involved.
Yeah, I know exactly who he's talking
He's saying
about.
he thinks it's Tim Sullivan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And I am the same way. There is one exception to that. Lee Marvin in Cat Ballou makes up for everything else.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, it's been
Yeah.
ages since I've seen Cat Ballou. I remember I
Well-
used to like that.
Yeah, it's like we won't watch anything with Jane Fonda in it.
I'm not fond of Jane. No, that's absolutely
Yeah,
true.
you're
Yeah.
not Fonda Jane.
But no, and so I'm not putting words in your mouth, but this is a prompt because I'm going to want your reaction to
okay.
this. So Grace Randolph seems to be the sort that has, however she started, there's how it started, how it's going, and how it's going, seems to be very much of the toe the line, the shill media, bolstering things that she may or may not even know or care about because that's where the money is.
That's the feeling I'm getting because I heard years ago she used to talk completely differently than how she does now.
That explains a lot to me because, like I said, there was a time when I, listened to her and enjoyed what she was saying. That's why I wasn't even joking or being ironic when I say I see you as being an alternative because you just strike me as someone who is just so honest and off the cuff about your opinions about whatever the movie is, or if
Yeah.
you liked it, you liked it. If you didn't, you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Say why.
I'm not going to pretend.
Without
can't.
reservation. And honestly, when it comes to a review, in my personal opinion, if that's the feeling that I get from a reviewer, I know I can rely on it. Now, I'm not always going to agree with all reviewers. There's some reviewers that if they like something, I'm not going to see it. And if they didn't like it, I'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then there's others that if I'm going to use a big name example, Michael Medved. He used to do. I don't know if he's still.
Gosh,
he may
that
still
name
do
sounds familiar. Where have I heard this name before?
He did a lot of reviews. He also did a lot of conservative talk radio.
Oh, that's that. Okay, I recognize. I think I've heard his name. In
And
that circle. Okay.
he was. It got to the point where I knew if he liked a movie, I'd probably like it. If he didn't like it, I should stay clear. And I tested this one time, and I can't remember what the movie was now. He did not like it. And I'm like, I want to see that movie. I'm going to go see it.
Well, go
and
see it if you want to.
And then after seeing it, I'm like,
You just
damn
had
it,
to-
I'm never doing that again. If he says not to see it, I'm like, because I wasted my money on that one. I should have listened to him. It wasn't his fault. And you do. You have this very and I haven't yet seen a movie review from you that I didn't agree with, but I'm sure one day it'll happen.
I'm sure it will, because not everybody agrees on everything all the time, and that's fine. I don't mind. People do.
I know how
different
it's going to
feelings
happen.
about-
Here's my prediction, and it
Okay,
may
oh.
even happen this year. You're going to talk about a movie you enjoy,
Okay.
and then I'll see it and I'll go, eh,
Oh, I could see that for sure, because sometimes I'm a little bit more excited about some movies than
Yeah.
maybe someone will watch it and they'll be like, okay, I liked it, but it's all right. I could see that, obviously.
And then I want to mention one other reviewer. I hope you don't feel I'm just comparing you to everybody else, but I'm just drawing a picture.
Comparing me
here.
to Grace Randolph is
No,
like,
there
oh
is.
my gosh, I'm nowhere
There's
near.
only one sin.
That is I thought there were 7 of them, but but
Set myself up for that.
yeah, that's the second sin pun for me tonight. You got one back in the green room too. There's a reviewer. I think you'd consider her a reviewer. She's usually talking about entertainment news. Nerd Cookies. Nerd Cookies has an incredible... She's more hyper-focused on Dune and Tron and Battlestar Galactica.
Like sci-fi.
Absolutely. These are areas where she knows the lore inside out. She does deep dive lores on Dune especially. But she has this way of talking about trailers and reviews and so on and so forth, and the news about some upcoming movie. And she's got this great way of saying that she's really excited for this project, but she's very concerned because these reasons. And then she's also got this, I refer to it as an ASMR voice. She's got this very soft-spoken
Don't
kind
you
of
love
sweet
those kinds of
voice.
voices?
Yeah,
I swear.
I'm like, I could just listen to her like, and she said in live streams, she's like, I know people, and she sounds very different in live streams from her scripted stuff. It's just completely different. But she's like, yeah, I know people have told me I should do ASMR. That's not my thing, but I get what people are saying. My point is, she's got a way of things that I would get all hot about and just rant about, and people would buy me a drink because I'm getting so, I need to calm down. She's just so sweet and calm about
Very
it,
calm
and really
about it.
concerned about it. And we've seen this in the past, and I hope that's not the case, but tell me what you think. And it's like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
It's like she has a way of
She's
just
very fair.
mellowing out what would
Yeah.
otherwise just have me shooting steam out of my ears. The Bosco Scenario, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. And
I can get heated about some movies for sure.
have you done any videos that you'd consider like a rant video?
Oh yeah, I have. Okay. Last year, I ranted about John Wick 4. That we might part ways on that one. A lot of people love that movie.
In fairness, I haven't even gotten that
I
far
was so
yet.
pissed at it, and I go into a long spiel about why. And then my latest rant, I ranted about Halloween Ends, and my latest one was
can understand
Echo.
that.
I ranted a lot about Echo.
Yeah, yes, I did see that. You're right. I did see that. But I've walked away from Marvel so long ago that, any rant video on Marvel, it's like, I could have told you that. and
Yeah,
don't even see
I know.
it.
I won't see any. Sorry, it's like I won't see any more John Wick movies because it's like one dog got killed. How many more dogs are we gonna get killed?
He's a bad dog, Daddy.
I just can't.
I don't think there's been any more. So what happened? The one with Halle Berry, they tried to kill her dog or something, I think, and he said something about basically along the lines of he could identify with her feelings of revenge because of that.
Yeah.
But I don't think any other dog has gotten killed in John
Okay.
Wick.
I've only
Okay.
seen the first John
Just
Wick.
in
That's
the
why I make
the
it
Yeah.
first one was the best. The first one was actually really good, and the second one was okay. But then by the third one, and he's killing people with a library book. I was like, I think I'm done with this. And then I got inspired to go see it. It was on a live stream on a buddy's channel. Did you see that? And I was told it was better than the third, and that there was not as much action, and it was whatever. I made a last minute decision to go see that, and I was so angry. I came home. I was my son worked at the theater at the time. And I'm driving home and bringing him home, and I'm ranting about John Wick 4 the whole time. And I'm like, this needs to be retitled Superman versus Daredevil. That's what this movie needs to be. Just going, I mean, how many times can you fall off a building and nothing happened to you? Just,
so
oh
I will support you in your consternation in this regard. As we've already said, we've only seen the first one, but I have certainly seen some clips of other John Wick films, and I guess one of the more recent ones, there's one where he kills a bunch of people with a pencil.
I don't even remember. That might have been the third one. It's like all sorts of stuff that
and
happens.
It bothers me because anybody would know, yeah, that would not work. And surprisingly, after having seen this clip and gone, okay, this has gone completely off the rails, I actually saw a YouTuber talking about that exact scene.
Oh,
he's one of those ones who likes to try to reproduce things that he sees in the movies.
Well, Joker killed somebody with a pencil in The Dark Knight.
He had to, yes, but at least that was
made that
in a plausible way, let's say.
Yes, I agree. Oh, the John Wick stuff. Y'all,
what John Wick did, well, and the guy tested it using obviously analogs, not real heads. You know,
I would hope.
and it really killed someone with a teacup.
I haven't seen that.
I mean, wasn't it?
Well, technically, anything could be a weapon.
Right. Exactly. That's true. But so the guy designs like a steel, or was it steel or no? It was tungsten. He got a bunch of tungsten and he made a pencil with it. And I don't remember how the lead was fed through it, but it was a really cool pencil. And he even sent one to Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. But it's like, no. Then he was able to do all that stuff, but no, you can't do that with a pencil. I was just thinking of Born Identity. He killed a guy with a pen. Depending on the pen, I can see that. But we're talking about a number 2 pencil.
I could see this going through somebody's eye or neck or something, potentially.
Oh, sure. I mean,
I've seen it in movies all the time where they just take a pen and stab somebody in the leg or the
and honestly, that's why you can't get those things in prison, because
right?
exactly that reason. But the
Yep.
pen is
True.
truly mightier than the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I saw, it's either a movie, I'm pretty sure it was a movie because we don't really watch television, where a girl was being attacked. The guy had grabbed her from behind. She did one of those things where she's reaching out for something on the desk, grabs a pen, stabs him in the neck,
Yeah.
and then he falls back and she's able to get away.
That one's pretty legit. I could totally see.
He lived though. That was the bad part.
If you miss the artery, if you miss the jugular, they'll probably live. But Pen guy lived until he jumped out the window. Okay, I knew Deleted Scenes would know what movie you were talking about. That's who
Wait,
he is.
what movie was this?
Yeah, Deleted Scenes. What movie was it? Tell us.
I want to know now.
Just real quick, I want to say hi to JPRPH1.
Hey, buddy.
I saw 2 other people come in. Gorilla Random Thoughts and Not This Time Net.
Yeah, sorry.
I reckon he comments on my channel.
Got so focused on the conversation, I wasn't paying attention to the chat. My apologies. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your background in films before you started doing the YouTube thing, because I know you have a history.
Not really.
Really?
No, not really. So I just have a passionate love for stories, especially good stories. My actual background has nothing to do with, I've never worked in a movie, never.
Wow.
Yeah, I grew up without a TV, and so stories were my entertainment, and I read like absolute crazy. And great imagination, but consequently anytime I saw something that was scary, I it would really affect me because I was not desensitized to things like that. So Halloween, the Halloween movie, I'm scarred for life from that. Because I was exposed to that
Wow.
way too young. Like I
Okay. Yeah.
legit I had a nightmare about Michael Myers last week. It's so stupid. But just the what I do, actually my day job is I work in audiobooks. And the
Oh, cool.
reason that I start, yeah, I love it. It's the best
Yeah.
job ever. And but a lot of times the stories that I worked on were not my favorite. And I wanted to talk about stories I liked. So that was one of the reasons that I started doing trailer reactions and stuff, was because I wanted to talk about stories that interested me, that I personally liked. And then it just kind of, then 2020 happened and the world ended.
Yeah.
And I was in a dark place just because of everything going on. You know, a lot of
Right.
people were. It wasn't me. I'm
Yeah.
not like, oh, poor
Right.
me. No, everybody was in a bad place. And so I started doing comedy reactions just because I wanted something to laugh at. I mean, I
Not a
still
bad
focused
idea.
on movies. Yeah, but so I started doing comedy reactions, and one of the first ones I did wasn't the first, but the very first one I did was oh gosh, so oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. But he's a real funny guy. He's this Southern guy. He'll do these little videos in his truck. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. Oh geez, whatever. Anyway, I wrote him and I asked him, can I use your videos? He said, go for it. So that was the very first one. But then eventually I discovered Bill Burr. Y'all, I didn't know
Oh,
who Bill
yeah.
Burr was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I discovered Bill Burr. I saw people doing reactions to his white guilt stand up
Uh-huh.
thing. And I
Yeah.
thought it was funny to me to watch people laughing at him.
Yeah.
So I I found some of his. I didn't react to that one because I'd already seen it. I'm not a fake reactor. If I've
Right.
already seen something, I will tell you beforehand. Anyway, so I reacted to one of his things, and it was called, well, the title of the video I found was called Vagina Privilege. I don't know what he actually calls that bit, but that's what
Sure.
this video called it. And it was really funny because Bill Burr's funny. And then he gets to this point, and I am actually leading to somewhere to kind of explain why my channel kind of exploded, and it was all because of this video. And then of course it built from there, you know, because of the movies and stuff. But he's telling this funny joke, and ha ha, I'm laughing, ha, and he says something about how I'm the only guy that can give his girlfriend a Valentine's card, and then at the end of the day she's punching him in the face, or something along those lines. I'm just paraphrasing, but it was basically she was physically abusive to him, his girlfriend at the time, and he married her. That's his wife. And it did get to the point he had said at some point in another video that he had told her, if you hit me again, it's over. So apparently, I mean, I hope she stopped, whatever.
Yeah.
But it affected me, him telling this part, and I didn't find it funny. I found it terrible and sad and awful. And I kind of went on a little bit of a ranty thing when that happened in the video. And I was talking about how, you know, a lot of men are abused and they don't talk about it. It happens so much. Women tend to hit more than men do, but it's like, oh, but a man can hurt. Well, I don't give a crap. You hit somebody, and that's abusive. And I told about how one of my great uncles was murdered by his wife. She killed him. And so I'm not of the mindset, oh, believe all women, oh, poor women, we're all victims. And so I can get a little ranty about stuff like that. And the reception that video got surprised me so much. It was just like boom overnight.
From a lot
that,
of women saying that
from that, my reaction to Bill Burr's story and going on this little ranty thing about, you know.
See, I'm seeing this on a lot of well, I see it on YouTube, but I know that a lot of what I'm seeing on YouTube is actually repurposed TikToks. So it's people that do TikTok videos and then turn them into YouTube videos. There's a number of women out there that are starting to come out and say, look, if it's not right when men do it to women, it's not right when women do it to men.
Yes.
First. You know, don't and the obvious example is Amber Heard. You can't go and be abusive and then turn around and say, "Look, he was abusive too," and then try to drum up some sympathy. This isn't blaming the victim when you go, "You were beating the crap out of him." You know?
Yeah.
Not that it even ever came out there was ever evidence that he ever did anything to her. But
No,
I think a lot of people were saying...
I watched that trial.
Yeah, I did too. And I watched all the commentaries on it too.
I would watch it with Ricada Law. I would watch his stream.
Yeah. And, that's how I started watching Ricada was exactly that. He also... Ricada kind of inspired the drinking on stream thing with me too.
Oh yeah, So I actually first started watching Ricada back during the Vic Mignogna stuff.
See, I wasn't even into
back.
YouTube at the time, so I was following the Vic Mignogna stuff just within fandom, that whole thing. But there's another great example of the double standard, right?
For sure. Oh gosh,
where...
Jamie Markey. Oh, I can't stand her. She came to one of our recent I'm sorry. I am going off on tangents, but she was one of the people that was involved in this, the piling on of Vic.
And it's this double and we see it in all sorts of abuse cases and so forth, where if a woman is being skeevy to a guy, a celebrity female and her fans, well, the guys should be glad of that, right? Mm-hmm. But if it's the other way around, oh, me too, me too. And it's like, I've seen it at the conventions too. Sure, there are people that want to be... I don't think it's right for me to say want to be taken advantage of. They're putting themselves out there for that. But, there's people that get preyed on as in fandom by celebrities. And... of both genders.
Yeah.
And it's not right for anybody. We need to get past looking at things like skin color and gender and any other things. If it's wrong to do to another human being, it doesn't matter what intersectional group either side is on.
Well, I agree. I mean, it's very easy. All you have to do is, if you're talking about something that has to do with race, flip the races.
Yeah.
If you're talking about something that has to do with gender, flip the genders. If you feel very strongly that it's so terrible and wrong if you do the flip, then it's wrong the other way too. But a lot of people, they don't do that. They don't even stop to think about that at all.
Yeah. No,
they're
that's
incapable
exactly
of it.
Right. But I guess the reason that I went down this road was because what I see on a lot of these YouTube channels that, as I said, they're women basically advocating for men. And saying what's fair is fair, they get a lot of pushback from other women. And the biggest thing that they get, they say is, you're a traitor to womankind and you're a pick-me girl.
Yeah, I yes, that one. I was going to say the pick-me girl.
It took me a while to figure out what the heck that... I heard it like three times before I had to look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, ooh, pick me. Yeah, I heard that one, which is stupid.
That's absolutely not the case. In fact, it's probably the complete opposite. Because these women are either married to good men that they care about. They have sons,
yes,
brothers, fathers,
yes.
and go, these are good men.
Yeah.
They don't deserve to be treated the way some women treat them.
Yeah.
And especially if it's a son, you don't want a world where women can treat men out there for your son.
Right. I mean, and personally, I have actually observed in my circle of acquaintances and extended family, people in the outer, whatever, even in my immediate, I have observed more abusiveness happening to the men that I know. To them from their female partner. Yeah. And, it's outnumbered on that end. And by abuse, I'm also talking about verbal abuse, mental, emotional abuse. It's not just physical. People in my family have also gone through that. But a lot of women just think they can talk to their guy like they're an absolute piece of garbage and it's perfectly fine. But the moment the guy pushes back against that and the girl acts like she's just been so grievously attacked, it's just like, I can't. do not like those double standards.
Real
at
quick,
all.
I do want to say hi to Jesse Guajardo. We were talking about you earlier.
Oh,
we
yeah,
were
he's
looking
here.
for you. We missed you, and we're
Jesse.
glad you're here.
I'm
Yeah.
still looking for my stalker. Where is Lady V?
Oh, Lady V.
We're trying to recruit her as a stalker, right?
I get because Deleted was calling her a stalker, and I was like, really?
She is awesome, though. She is awesome, though. She really is. But bringing it back to stories, though, I think that's... And tell me what you think. I feel like stories are so important to the human experience.
Oh, yeah.
It is how we communicate. Whether
Yes.
people realize it or not. I've been really looking into this and realizing that when we communicate, even when we communicate very logical, rational, scientific type things, we'll lay out the data, but we always seem to have to illustrate it with a story, an example, because that's the only way we conceptualize things.
Right. It
That's
makes an
how
impression
that's
on us.
how language works in our minds. And I think that is probably the most insidious thing that I have seen from the cultural vandalism we have seen over the past decade, or really over the past century, depending on how you look at it, of people trying to undermine language, narratives, stories, because it's what shapes our society. Look, it goes all the way back to when we were living in caves and drawing paintings on the wall. People were telling stories, you know?
Well, it helps you also. I mean, they can transport you to the coolest places, right? But if you don't have this human connection with the characters in a story, it's kind of hard to be transported. But it
Yeah.
helps you to empathize,
Yeah.
also, and put yourself in a certain character's situation. Like, I never thought I would sympathize with Joker.
Right.
But I did in the
Yeah.
movie that came out a couple years ago, because it did present him as a sympathetic character. And I thought that was an extremely well done movie.
Yeah, I just think it would have been a lot better if it actually, followed something like the lore of DC Comics. But, it
Yeah.
wasn't really a Joker movie. It was more, the king
I
of
know.
comedy slash,
Yeah, it kind of
taxi
was
driver.
that. I think it should have ended like someone else mentioned on a stream I was on recently. It should have ended with him on the car in front of the crowd. That's when I thought the movie was going to end, and it didn't. It picked up with him in the mental institution or something. But
Because they decided to try shoehorning it into some sort of a DC narrative.
yeah,
That's the problem.
I guess. Well,
But that, so not to derail us by pitching my own show tomorrow, but it is related. Tomorrow's show, the topic is, a couple weeks ago I did a show talking about walking away from these franchises that have been so badly vandalized, they're not the things we loved
Yeah.
anymore. Star Wars is dead. Star Trek is dead. Doctor Who is dead. And my intent was to say, but you know what? There's other things out there, and I never quite got to practical examples. So I'm going to look at some tomorrow night, specifically coming out of South Korean television.
South Korea is excellent. I like a lot of their stories.
Talk about being able to... First off, I'm watching these shows that are... everybody's Korean. Not a single white guy in it.
There's no
And yet
diversity at all.
And yet somehow I am able to, care about and sympathize with and see myself in all of these characters.
Yeah.
The one that Netta and I are watching right now, probably the one I'll focus on the most tomorrow, the lead is a female. Can you imagine that? A Korean female character, and I'm all in following her.
What's
I don't
the
need
show?
to see.
Is it The Bequeathed?
It is
Marry My Husband.
Marry My Husband.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you know
All
that
right.
one?
No, I haven't seen that one. Have you guys seen The Good, the Bad, the Weird?
No,
No,
I don't
but
think I've
you
seen
must
that.
watch
that.
That
movie.
actually sounds like, just
It
from the
is-
title alone, sounds
It
good.
is so good. I love that movie so much. It's so
shocked-
much fun.
As I was putting my list together of shows that I want to talk about tomorrow, and this is partly because, you know, you get suggestions of shows that are similar and stuff, and it starts to know your interests. And overwhelmingly, I have a list of time travel related stories, and I'm like, is that all Korea does? Is TV shows that have a time travel thing? Only to realize I'm seeing a small subset.
I haven't seen time travel Korean stories. I love time travel. Have you guys seen Time Crimes? It's a Spanish language time travel.
No, I haven't, but someone did recommend that
Okay,
to me. I'm going to have to check that one out.
You'll like Marry My Husband then.
Marry My Husband
there is a time travel element in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
premised on... It doesn't give anything away because it's the very first episode. Woman dies in the current day and then wakes up 10 years earlier with all of her memories, and she gets to kind of a do-over.
Where she dies in her home when she quote unquote wakes up. She's standing in her office. It's kind of like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
Where am I?
Okay.
What's going on?
Another South Korean one. One More Time. A musician goes back in time to rekindle a romance.
Okay.
But the one that started us on this actually wasn't South Korean. It was Chinese. It was called Reset, about a bus exploding, and two people on the bus keep going back 1 hour. Or going back one day.
Sounds really good.
and over and over and over again.
I
They're
love
trying
those types
to
of
change
stories
stuff. Yeah.
so much.
And it's but it's a series. It's a season of a show that's
nice.
doing this. It's not.
Oh, have you guys seen Daybreak?
Why does that sound familiar to me? Daybreak.
It's
not
got.
this time.
It's got.
So there's one called My Wife is a Gangster. It's a Korean TV series.
Yeah, I
I'll
haven't
have to
heard
check
of
that
that one.
Daybreak. I'll write
Daybreak
it
has
down.
Tay Diggs in it. His day keeps repeating. It was maybe a 13-episode series. It wasn't renewed. I don't know if it should have been renewed or not. I can't remember. I mean, like, the story kind of wraps up, but that one was really good too.
But the thing that really struck me is they don't focus on so many sci-fi focuses on the I guess what Call Me Chado would call gear porn. They get into the sci-fi mumbo jumbo of how the science works and, you know, whatever it is. This one totally doesn't. We have no idea how or why. She doesn't know how or why she went back in time. And it's really more of a character drama. And you get caught up in the emotions and things. You don't know what she knows about her life, but it's shown in some flashbacks. It's, you know, you see, it gets a little confusing sometimes because you'll see her memory of an event and then you'll see her preparing to live that event a different way. Yeah, I know what happened last time. This time I'm going to do this.
Right.
And
second chances.
Exactly. Oh, that's actually another good movie, Sliding Doors. The movie with that goop
Ben
chick.
Affleck?
What's her name?
Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Right.
It was Ben Affleck in that with her, or somebody else?
Could have been. I actually don't remember.
I never saw Sliding Doors.
It's literally that kind of a thing where you see two events. It's the difference. They call it Sliding Doors because at the beginning of the movie she's going to get onto a train, and it's whether or not she gets on the train before the doors close or not. If she gets on the train, her life goes one way. If she doesn't, her life goes another way. And you follow the two in parallel.
Okay.
With a little bit of a twist ending at the end. But yeah, these are great stories. Again, everybody's talking about how they desperately want to see themselves on the screen. I don't. I don't want to see an overweight 50-plus-year-old bald Italian guy, you know, on the screen, you know, doing what?
Yeah.
You mean like Tony Soprano?
I was going to say like Danny DeVito, except maybe a little taller. You know,
Sure.
that would be a funny movie once or twice. I like twins. You know, it's like looking in a mirror, you know. But, you know, it's a little bit close to home. I would rather see Bruce Willis. I would rather see Sylvester Stallone. You know, I would rather see, I don't know, Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
Yeah.
can understand Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, I do, because he talks like a lot of people like, in my family, actually.
Oh
He kind
gosh.
of like mumbles when he talks. It's
Yeah,
like,
he
what?
does have
What
a
are
speech
you saying?
impediment. So, I mean, there you go. There's your representation. Someone with a speech impediment, right? But
Gosh.
it's about the story. Look, Groot, Johnny Five, R2D2, right? Who are they representing?
Right.
They
right.
are characters that everyone can associate with. If you can't associate with the main character of any given movie, the problem's probably you, not the movie or the storytelling. Well, it could be the storytelling.
And I
'Cause-
love the ones where people go, "Oh, if you're wearing a mask, you can't show emotion."
The Mandalorian, yeah.
perfectly show
Right.
that.
Yeah. Body
I mean-
language is all you needed.
I was gonna say Deadpool, but that one's kind of cheating because there is some CG that goes into the eyes and
And he
stuff
does.
like
Yeah.
that.
He does.
You know, I mean that one is kind of cheating, but
Yeah, it's like, and there's other ones where I mean, you can just tell the emotion
yeah.
in people's faces that they're wearing a mask. You can't see their faces.
Just by
was-
the tilt of their head or the way they
Yeah.
hold their shoulders or
Well,
whatever.
I think the most classic one was it was about the best thing about the movie too. The opening of Blues Brothers 2000. Elwood gets out of prison. He walks out to the street to wait for his brother, who never shows up. And the police are inside watching him, just standing there. And it was Frank Oz, because it was Frank Oz reprising his role. It says, "Did nobody tell him?" And you know what they're doing. They're going out to tell him your brother died, you know? But you don't hear it. You see him go out, and from a distance, you see him talk to him, and you just see Dan Aykroyd with the fedora and the dark glasses, and you just see his head go down. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then a car pulls up because he wasn't waiting for his brother. But that is how he finds out that his brother died. It's like, wow. You don't even need to see his face, and you know.
Yeah.
You just
Right.
feel, right?
Right.
Yeah, the whole movie was downhill from there. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, I didn't. I'm not crazy about the Blues Brothers. I know. See, we're parting ways. We're parting
No.
ways.
In fairness, we have a particular fondness for it because Chicago. You know,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I didn't like Blues Brothers 2. I thought it was just kind of thrown together and forced. You know.
Blues Brothers 2000.
Blues-
Yeah.
2000, yeah. But the Blues Brothers, I've seen that. It's got to be about 150 times. I love that movie.
Yeah. That one is
No, it's popular.
it. Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's Chicago too, and it's kind of like, okay, that was filmed here.
There
and
is
this
a
was filmed
lot that
here,
goes
and-
into that movie that is very, and we did a rewatch with Big Al about Blues Brothers, and there's a lot that, as a Chicago person, you could bring to it, and you can point out and just, you know, maybe we should do that. Maybe we got to get you in on a rewatch of Blues Brothers so you can kind of see some of it from our perspective. I
From
think
your
our
perspective.
enthusiasm might help you out with that a little bit.
I don't know.
See how you doing?
But hey, good to see you, Continuum Chronicles. But anyway, yeah, no, yeah. You don't have to like the things we like. You know, we're not going to be upset with you. That's perfectly.
I mean,
fine.
there's just some genres that I'm just not drawn to, and that type is one of them.
that kind of goofy
just-
comedy kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
definitely don't like goof. Like I hate Dumb and Dumber. You know, like movies like I can't.
Okay,
I just
yeah.
don't.
I didn't care
Like,
for that one too
yeah.
much
I
either.
tried watching it. I just couldn't. It's like, I'm sorry.
And
this
that
is
was
making-
when I really liked Jim Carrey
Jim
too.
Carrey. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my husband used to watch that stupid movie every day.
Dumb and
like-
Dumber.
See,
I was so
I
sick
see
of
movies
it.
like that, and it's like, okay, you're an insult to stupid people.
And
Oh,
I think what bothers me even more than Jim Carrey in that movie, Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels.
Because I've seen him in so many good serious roles, you know, and it's like this one kind of beneath you, man. This one just
yeah,
not.
just,
He could have done
it's
us
a
a
super
favor or
popular
somebody.
movie though. I mean, a lot of people just really love it. So, and Jim Carrey, a lot of people really love Jim Carrey. He's okay. He's actually a really good dramatic actor.
Yes, he is. He's done some good
He's
ones.
very
too.
good. My favorite Jim Carrey movie of all time is Liar Liar.
That was exactly the one I was thinking of.
Yeah,
because it is a comedy, but it's also got so much heart.
Yes, and it's also a true to life. Like the comedy
Yeah.
in there is something we can all identify with.
Yeah.
You know, the whole little white lies. You know,
Yeah.
and then when he cannot tell a lie. But also at the heart of it is this really sad story about these children
Yeah.
that are, you know, objects in this divorce case. And that scene at the end, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you know, in the courtroom, and he says, "I hold myself in contempt." Oof, that
Yeah.
just kills me. It's so
And
sad.
I can't remember the name of the actor who played the judge. I'll bet Steven.
I know who you're talking. I don't know his name, but I know his
he was-
face.
Yeah, he's a great character actor. He played a role in a sci-fi show that I really, really like. His character as a judge, there's a couple ways you can go with a judge character, and he played the best one for that role, because you can see him being, you know, serious and
Right.
you know, a little bit crotchety, but also very sympathetic. You know, he's the kind of judge you would want to see. You know, as
in
a
a
judge.
courtroom. Yes, exactly.
To
I
some
agree.
degree, I would say that Fred Gwynn in My Cousin Vinny too, but a very different kind of judge. But let's face it, there's some judges that, well, that could get me off.
See, now,
another
I really like the Truman Show.
Truman Show is
Yeah,
good too. That is
that's a
very
sad one.
strange, but it's the kind of thing that you get from good sci-fi. It's very philosophical. It
Mm-hmm.
gives you an opportunity to look at a bizarre hypothetical that could never happen, but it allows you to think about the human condition in a way you wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, one big aspect of the Truman Show, voyeurism. And especially when you start looking at so many things on social media, you look at reality TV, you look at, you know,
that. I hate
you know,
reality
yeah.
TV. Can't
Well,
stand
and that's the worst. 'Cause what's interesting is this hypothetical Truman Show. The main character does not even know he's being watched.
it. Right.
Whereas so-called reality shows, when you find out that they're scripted, oh my gosh, that is such a shock. You know that they're like, you know what, it would be way better if you reacted to him this way. Can we shoot it again? Okay.
So
You know?
speaking of reality and comedy, have you guys ever seen Impractical Jokers?
I've heard of it.
Oh,
That sounds familiar to me.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
My first experience with them was Mego Toys got the license to do action figures of them. And I had to look them up to see who they were.
that's so funny. Yeah, they're especially there. I haven't seen them in a while, but I know they're still around. Joe is not part of the group anymore, but in the earlier years, especially, oh my gosh, so funny. Like seriously, laugh so hard your face hurts. Funny for me anyway.
are
Yeah.
these the guys that, like, they'll have, like, a bet or something on themselves, and they have to, like, go
Yes.
into a
Yes.
public place and go, and, like, I don't know, start handing people napkins or something. Just
You have to do
hand-
stupid
yes,
stuff,
stupid
and they
things.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
put each other like they'll group up in teams sometimes, but so like it's like candid camera, but the people that are really being made fun of are them, the
Yeah.
guys. They're not. I mean, they'll say these uncomfortable, weird things with total strangers, but what's funny is seeing how the strangers react to their idiocy,
Yes.
and seeing how far they're willing to go or not
Yeah.
go for these bets.
And then they
It's
give each
funny.
other points.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I get a point for that.
I love, because they got like a thing in their ear because they got to be told.
And
you know,
they're telling them
yeah.
what to say, and they
and you'll-
know what buttons to push.
yeah.
Yeah,
And you'll
I-
see this reaction, like they'll tell
their
them to do something. It'll be like, oh no.
Yeah,
It's like,
funny.
tell that lady that, you know, her
Yeah.
spandex makes her look like a sausage or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It's like,
And he's like,
I
oh,
can't say that to that
God,
lady.
no.
You know?
And they got to do it. I no.
So
I have
funny.
seen it. Yeah, I can deal with that. It's
Yeah, it's totally
constructed
different.
reality.
Yeah, that's completely different. But the whole like Big Brother and Survivor
No.
and all these, oh gosh, no. This is part of the reason why I don't care for movies that pretend to be found footage or
yeah.
camcorder movies. It's very rare that I like one of those.
My
types of
my
movies.
experience there is the first time it wasn't the first time it was done, but the marketing behind it,
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch,
Yeah.
was, let's face it, Blair Witch as a movie on its own
Sucks.
pretty much sucks.
It's
yeah,
very
it does.
meh. I was not impressed
The
with it.
entertainment of it is the expanded, not expanded media, but the whole viral marketing around it.
Well, yeah, because people thought it was true at first.
Exactly, and the
Yeah.
legend and the lore and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff.
See, now I saw the trailers and it was like, okay, there's nothing about this that makes me want to see it.
Right, just
And
the
then-
trailer, just the movie.
Yeah.
But
And
then you see like the web page, talking about it as though it's real, and this legend of this, Blair Witch and da da da, and
Yeah, it's like, and I only saw it just a couple of years ago because for some stupid reason, Troy and I decided to put this thing on, and I'm like, why are we watching this again? It was a horrible movie.
and
Yeah,
and
it's not.
because of that, because I got so into that kind of viral marketing, I even enjoyed the sequel.
See,
I never
you didn't
saw-
make me watch that.
The sequel.
That one actually works a lot better as a movie because it's not in and of itself meant to be found footage.
Oh, okay.
But that gimmick only works, in my opinion, once. Now every movie that's found footage, you're like, oh, this is like Blair Witch.
Yeah.
First, and yeah, I mean, you get to the end of Blair Witch and you're like, the hell just happened?
Yeah.
But it got me there. It got me to that point,
Same with The Sixth Sense. It's like you watch that movie, and you can never do anything like that again because then people will expect it.
Well, that one
You're
is
like,
a
oh,
problem
wait,
too, because
is
you
this-
can enjoy it the first time you watch it. You don't
So-
really enjoy it the second time through.
So
Yeah.
I actually do enjoy it when I've rewatched it. So I watched it with my son a couple years back. 'Cause we used to have a live stream that we would do every month where we would go decade by decade. We started with the 80s and then 90s and then the 2000s, and we would go year by year. So every month we would cover a particular year. So when it came to the year that The Sixth Sense came out, he finally watched it, and he had never seen it before, and surprisingly, he never knew what the twist was.
Oh, that's nice.
So that made me happy.
Yeah.
But one thing I really do enjoy about that movie, and she's not on there nearly enough, is Toni Collette's performance. I thought she was I
Yes,
could watch her all day
that's
long
true.
in that role. And that scene with her in the car and the little boy at the end, and he's telling her that he can see her. Oh my
yes.
goodness, she was so good in there. She's such a good actor.
No, you're absolutely right, and I love the what's that? Troy, did you know Scooby Doo has a parody of? Yes, I do. I've seen it. It's a little disturbing, but really, really good. The end of Blair Witch reminded me of a chapter of the Dracula novel that was done in journal entries. Harker's Journal, and you're absolutely right. That is I think the one element about Dracula that I think the best attempt at bringing that to screen was Bram Stoker's Dracula. But
they focus so much on the romance stuff.
Yeah.
That wasn't really in the book at all.
no, it absolutely isn't. And especially if you're going to call your movie Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Right?
it needs to be more like Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Agreed. I do like that. Like the ending was more dramatic in the book. It's over in like half a page.
Right.
As far as the showdown,
They
It's not
almost, in the book, they kind of kill him in
Yeah,
what
it's
would
like
basically
that.
be off screen in a movie, which is like, no, you don't want that. Two things about Bram Stoker's Dracula. The biggest one, obviously, is the romance. That is not and a lot of people believe that's part of Dracula if they haven't read the book. The other thing is tying it to Vlad Tepes in the beginning and that backstory with, well, of course, setting up the death of his wife and so forth.
Right.
Elizabeth, which is also not his wife's name, and she didn't really die that way. But anyway, be that as it may, they should have steered clear of that. There is a fan edit that I actually have a copy of.
Oh.
Maybe I should do a watch party of that one year. It basically, because the original Bram Stoker's Dracula, the tagline was "Love Never Dies." The fan edit is no, it really is Bram Stoker's Dracula, and the tagline is "Love Never Was." And it literally edits out all the elements that are that whole goofy love story.
That would be a lot of it edited out.
It is, and it is a much better adherence to.
I need to find this fan edit.
We'll talk afterwards. I'll help you.
Okay.
But
what I want to know now, because we've been talking about movies and reviews and all these different things, where do you see your channel heading?
do you have big plans?
Well, my pie in the sky goal, and this sort of connects with my channel because, you know, movie reviews. My pie in the sky goal is to become a Critics' Choice member.
Oh,
Okay.
That's what I want to be. And so as far as my channel, just, I don't know, growing as I continue to talk about movies. I just, because that's the one thing I like. I know my reactions to comedies get much more views, but I prefer to talk about movies.
Yeah.
That's just my thing. Every once in a while I'll still do reactions, but this is my passion, is to talk. I love talking about good stories and characters in stories, and it's just, so that's just something I'm gravitating more and more and more towards for my channel. That's probably what I'll continue to do. And I did become accepted in the Georgia Critics Association, GAFCA.
Nice.
And then I started receiving all of these screeners for all sorts of movies and merch. I'm looking here at a Naiad beach blanket that was sent to me, and the screenplay for Fair Play. And anyway, so yeah, that's my big goal as far as my channel goes, even though it's not really, you know,
right.
becoming Critics' Choice member, but still, it's going to be connected with my channel.
Are you planning on having like guests on to talk about films, or it's just going to stay you, maybe you and your son?
Well, we need to figure out what we want to do as far as more live streaming series, but there are people that I would like to bring on. I did used to do some interviews, like a while back, a couple years back when my channel got bigger. I did an interview with a Critical Drinker, and I did an interview with Gothics, and I did an interview with a movie director, and so I've done some interviews. I did started off interviewing my brothers, I think. That's one of the first interviews I had.
That's fine.
But I don't have a lot of time to do like a bunch of interviewee type of stuff. But I would like to have Paulie on my channel at some point from Latino Slant.
Paulie's awesome.
Paulie, I love Paulie, and I would love to
Mikey.
meet him one day. I'm going to California in March, and he had said that if I'm out in California sometime, maybe I could join him and his little group of movie buddies, which includes Chris Gore, who I have met, and maybe sometimes Nerd Erotic. But I really want to meet Paulie, and I want to have Paulie on my channel. His channel is just exploding like I knew it would. I'm really happy for him. He's great.
And see, this is why at the top of the show I was saying, you know, we were so excited to get you on, because you're exploding, and pretty soon you're going to be big time, and you know.
I don't think I will be. I mean, you
That's
guys
what they
look
all
at
say.
you guys look at my sub count, and it looks like super impressive. I don't think I'm exploding. I feel like I'm just kind of plateaued right now. It's just like I really am not exploding. Paulie's exploding. Paulie's going to be like Chris Gore is up there, and Film Threat is now over 100K.
Yeah.
But something that I really appreciate about Film Threat and Chris Gore is that they're very approachable.
Yes.
I was very happy to be able to meet him at Dragon Con this past year, and I have corresponded with him on email, and I also reached out and asked him for a letter recommendation for another critics group I'm going to apply to, because I have to have a letter of recommendation.
Right.
And he was kind enough to give me one.
That's
so
awesome.
I
Yeah,
really,
that's great.
really, really appreciated that so much.
I feel like because of the way YouTube is going, I think it is changing the way we are going to be looking at entertainment going forward. I think
I
that
agree.
the people that we look at and think of as celebrities, the line between celebrity and fan is going to be much more blurred. And
Yeah.
That could be bad for some, but it could
Right.
also be very, very good, because it'll be like, yeah, I am a fan of this person, not just because I love their stuff, but I do. But I've had so much interaction with them, and he knows me by name, and he's something of a friend, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's really.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's going, and we will be looking to people like Latino Slant and all of them, and saying those are the ones we want to get our entertainment. Well, I'm already doing it with Midnight's Edge and Andre.
Right. Yeah, they're so about movie reviewers. So before, movie reviewers were always this elite class, right? This establishment sort of class. And I've seen other established movie reviewers on Twitter basically looking down on us YouTube movie reviewers, as if we're not legit because we're YouTube. Oh, give me a break. There's some excellent movie reviewers out there. It doesn't matter if they're on YouTube or not. I don't give a crap if they write their review in the paper or if they put it on YouTube. I'm gonna gravitate towards the YouTube folks.
Yep.
And you also, in my opinion, now I am part of a critics group, but that's largely because I want to present myself as a relatable movie reviewer, someone like the regular people. So I do bash on establishment movie critics, even though I'm kind of sort of intertwining myself a little bit with them. But you don't have to even be that in order to be a movie critic. Anybody that watches a movie and gives their thoughts on movies, and that's something that they do for their channel, they're a movie critic.
And I'll tell you why I think they're the most threatened by the YouTube
because
community.
More people, I think, are going to listen to them.
Exactly. And why is that? Because the people that are watching Midnight's Edge and Sin's Corner and The Critical Drinker are doing it because that's what they're interested in, that's what they enjoy, and that's where they want to give their money. They will become members, they will send tips, super chats, and whatnot. They will support directly.
Yeah.
Whereas
they also trust them more.
True. Whereas, where does the money come from with the shill media? It's corporates. They're corporatists. And so the companies give them the money. They say what the companies want them to say. Whereas the YouTubers are saying what they want to say.
Right.
And finding the audience that gravitates to them and getting support directly from the viewers. This is how you know you have a good quality product. If you don't, you can't make it because you don't have an audience.
Yeah.
Imagine that, instead of being propped up by someone's big bucks.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how long Disney's going to let me look at their stuff, because I was not kind to Echo.
I am starting to see, though, that in the general community, a lot of people that do, the reviews and the commentaries and the news and stuff about Disney are saying people are caring less and less about this news about Disney. So they're starting to do less and less commentaries on them. So it may not matter.
Yeah.
It's
true.
Really.
I mean, Disney is, oh my gosh. I have despised that company for so long because of, we've seen for years the direction that they're going in. I cannot stand. They are too big. I would not lose sleep at all if that entire company dissolved.
Oh, that's why we sold our stock. We got so sick of them.
Yeah, I wish I'd held out a little bit longer so I could make sure it actually went to Nelson Peltz.
Oh,
but,
gosh.
He's probably got it now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Now, if we had waited, then our stock
would be worth less. That's
yes.
true. That's
we
absolutely
got a
true.
pretty decent price
We
for
got-
our stock that
we
I
actually
bought
got
for
good money.
$30 way back in the day.
It was right after the Gina Carano thing, and I said I'm done. I can't justify being a stock owner in this company. Sell. I don't care how much we lose. Come to find out, we actually ended up gaining a lot. But
That's
quite a
really
bit.
good. That's good. They were so. That's why I stopped. I didn't want to watch Mandalorian season 2 when they fired Gina, and yet Pedro Pascal could say the crap that he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
And nothing happened to him, and I was I'm done.
And that's where I
appreciate
started to
that.
lose interest. after season 3 how bad it was, I'm like, well, this is dead. This is
I'm glad I
absolutely
never
dead.
saw it.
But yeah, what happened was we didn't actually set out to buy Disney stock. We bought Pixar stock. And when Pixar was bought up by Disney, the stock split, and then it split again.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so that's why we ended up with Disney stock. And so I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. And no, I'm glad we did. But so what films are coming up in the near future that you're excited about? 1, 2, 3 of them.
Well, I'm looking forward to Argyle
Okay.
next week.
Yep.
I'm going to try to get into an advanced screening of that, and I'm trying to remember all the different ones that I am actually looking forward to Craven. It's one of the Marvel movies.
See, I was looking forward to Morbius, and then was very disappointed.
I know,
so
and
now...
so I'm expecting that I might be disappointed in that. I'm looking forward to Nosferatu as well.
I haven't seen anything
December.
about that. They're doing another.
Yeah, so this is weird. Did you guys ever see the one that Willem Dafoe was in, Shadow of the Vampire?
Yes, I have it on DVD. It's weird, but it's good. Yeah.
I've actually never watched that all the way through, but I knew that he was in it. So when they announced that Nosferatu was coming out and Willem Dafoe was in it, I thought, oh, he's reprising his role. No, he's playing a totally different character.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
cool. It is cool.
Interesting. I'll look into that. That does.
I did do like a top 10 most anticipated for this year, and there's some movies that I hadn't even heard of that's coming out. There's a movie coming out that's directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Okay.
So I'm curious about that. Then there's a movie with Brad Pitt and George Clooney called Wolves. Don't know much about that, but I'm looking forward to that. And there's some others. I can't remember all of them, but those are the ones off the top of my head.
Good. All right. Well, that's all I got, I think.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I do. When I get excited, you know.
Well, speaking of Polly, I bought this shirt from Polly, like Polly's site.
Defund the thought police. I like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
I saw him wearing that, and then he had a link in his video, and I gotta get that shirt. I love that
awesome.
shirt.
That is absolutely
And
awesome.
I have dropped the link to Sin's Corner in the chat. It's also below in the description. So make sure that you click on that link or go in the description and click on that. And make sure that you are subbed to Sin's Corner.
Thank you.
And of course, I always tell y'all to make sure you're subscribed to the panel and to everyone in the chat. And if you think you're subscribed, go back and double check because YouTube sucks and likes taking away subs.
Yeah, it does weird things like that for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was like, there was one day I got something like 11 subs, and the next morning I'd lost like 7 or 8 of them. It's like,
yeah,
what the
so
heck?
weird. It happens all the time. So yeah, that happens. Like I'll get like a sub and then I lose 2.
Yeah.
What?
It's
So yeah,
so weird.
yeah. My channel is definitely plateaued. I think largely because I got so many subscribers based on me doing reactions, and then I was gravitating more and more towards reviews, and then I got a lot of subs when I did like Society of the Snow review, and when I did Sound of Freedom, and when I did Godzilla -1.
Oh, I love Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, Sound of Freedom was crazy.
I'm glad that movie exists.
Me too, for sure.
I hate that it has to exist.
I know.
You know.
I hate that the ending was not, like, I hate that Rocio has never been found.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that.
Yep.
But, you know, they have to make a happy ending. I mean, I'm glad they did. Obviously, it would have been, can you imagine how bummed out you would have been if you left the theater and he was never able to rescue her?
Yep.
In the story?
Exactly. Exactly. So absolutely we need everybody who isn't already, and I'm surprised if you're not, but make sure you're subscribed to Sin's Corner. I want to very quickly, because I know he's running out of time here. Make sure when you leave here, get over to that stream right there, Deleted Scenes, for his weekend update.
Weekend thing, yeah.
And please go give him a thumbs up, do a little Netters Network raid over there.
Yeah, it's like we're running a little late today because Troy got excited.
And you know when you have a guest like Sin, you want to.
Oh my gosh!
I want to be very careful. I don't want anyone to say he said he was taking advantage of Sin. No, no, that's not what I meant.
No, I'm very accessible and approachable. I just,
Yes, you are.
you know, whatever. You acted like it was like such a huge, exciting deal because I'm like, if I can make a live stream, I'll make it. I like to talk about movies, so I will do it if I
It's
can.
exactly going back to what I was saying. You get to like these people, and you become fans of them as well as their content, as well as their status and stature and whatnot.
We're just friends too. You just feel like
Exactly.
you're
Are you
movie
not
buddies.
a fan of anyone you would call a friend? If they
Yeah.
are doing something that requires some support, are you not there supporting them? That's that's being a fan.
Exactly. In fact,
Yeah.
I'd love to have you on again in a couple of months, see
Sure.
how things are going, and all that. So that'd be
Sure,
great.
absolutely. Just let me know.
Especially if we see like a review and we're like, we gotta talk to her about that one.
Just whenever, just reach out, and I love my Google Calendar. If it weren't for that, I would get all screwed up, and I'm able to look and see, what days. Usually on Thursday nights, I'm out at watching a movie, but I'm generally back by the time your stream starts. So
Right.
just pop me a line whenever.
I like Jessica Harda. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
It's so funny because at the end of I released a short review of Land of Bad that Deleted and I went to go see last Monday. Not together, but we talked about it together after. And at the end of my short, I did say something about that. I said, yes, Maximus, I was entertained. And then my latest short that went up tonight, the one that might get me a little bit of hate, was for the movie Origin, which Deleted and I also talked about a couple weeks ago. So yeah, that one got me a little fired
Origin.
up.
Yeah. But
Well, let us talk through our week. So tonight, of course, we had the fabulous Sins Corner on as our special guest.
absolutely.
And isn't she gorgeous? You actually get to see her pretty face.
Yeah.
You can't see our faces. 'Cause
And
we're
I'm just
hiding,
looking
but-
at y'all's avatar.
Yeah, well, you got to tune in tomorrow if you want to see us on camera.
Yeah,
That's
I said I was telling Sin in the green room that when I got off work, I took a nap, so I'm not wearing makeup. My hair's all messed up. I'm like, I'm not going on camera.
I don't like to wear makeup. I don't wear makeup. It hurts my skin. I don't like
It's
it.
like, well, I
so.
wear very little, but it's like I also have dark under eye circles, so
Me
I cover
too.
those.
I look like a raccoon, don't I?
Oh gosh, mine are so bad. I actually have a page on Facebook. What is it called?
dark under eye circles
Yeah,
or
it's
something
something to do
like
with
that.
dark under. That's not the whole title of it. Where's my
Oh,
Facebook?
you have a page called that on Facebook?
Yeah, it's called like plagued with under eye circle, a dark under eye circle, something like that I created.
She's
Oh my
trying to
gosh.
group source, ideas for how to cover them, how to deal with them,
Right,
and
and
stuff
so we
like
share
that.
ideas, and let me get plagued with dark under eye circles on Facebook.
Plagued with dark under eye.
Yeah.
I had created it, and if y'all got dark circles, we're sitting here trading
Yep.
ideas. In fact, I'll put the
Go ahead,
link
put the
in
link.
the chat in case anyone wants to see it. But it's like I've got pictures of me with and without makeup, so you can see the dark circles.
Yeah.
And it does look like I've been punched in both eyes.
Do you
really
have
bad.
dark lids too? Because my lids are so dark it looks like I wear mascara. I mean, not mascara, eyeshadow. Like the whole area is dark.
My under eye is a lot darker than my lids.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, Troy's looking at me right now. So are my lids
Yeah.
darker?
You have some, but yours, you have the dark crescent under your eyes like a football player.
Yeah, I've got really
Yeah,
I
bad
can
under
I can
circles.
identify for sure.
Yeah, so we just share ideas of this worked for me, this didn't, and I don't know why all these people keep touting getting the shots to, like filler and all that, because then they'll come back later and go, yeah, it only lasted a month or it only
Yeah.
lasted 3 weeks or
Sounds
something.
like the juice isn't
and
worth
you
the
have to keep
squeeze.
doing it. It's like no,
Yeah,
I'm not
no
sticking
thanks.
needles in my face.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we got to go quick because
So,
I want everybody to
Friday
get
night.
over to So tomorrow
Deleted,
night
yep.
over on my channel, last call. Watch me get blitzed as I tell you about some great shows, mostly out of South Korea. Basically, the point is, I think that we're sick of the television and streams that we're getting over here. We actually got to go out of the country to get good stuff. And then maybe the entertainment industry in the U.S. will wake up and start trying to make good stuff again.
Okay, Saturday.
Saturday,
over on Big Al's channel.
We're over on Big Al's for Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, a little diesel punk action. That'll be fun. That's 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Big Al Presents. Sunday, all day, make sure you're watching deleted scenes. Just when you go to the stream of his tonight, just hit the subscribe button. He's on all day Sunday.
Well, there's Geeky Geezers.
Except in the middle, wedged in between, is Geeky Geezers. We will have a sad in memoriam. We will be bringing you more Dismal Disney and all the other news that you might find interesting. Even if it's been talked about on another channel, we'll probably be bringing a slightly different perspective.
Okay, Monday I don't think there is anything.
Tuesday, live from Sparkwood and 21.
Back on Deleted Scenes.
Yeah, back on Deleted Scenes, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, for the next episode of Twin Peaks. Hopefully,
Sparkwood and 21.
Yep, hopefully Audrey's getting rescued this week. And that brings us around to Thursday.
Thursday things. So next Thursday, my guest will be Clifton 3D.
Clifton
so
3D.
We'll be talking about him and his channel.
Awesome.
And I am looking for guests for Thursday things. So I don't have any other guests after that until the February 29th, where I'm going to have on Sci-Fi Mombi. So I've got most of February open, and then March and beyond. So if you are interested in being a guest on Thursday things, if you check in the description below, you've got my email, and you've also got my Twitter handle. Send me a DM, or if Twitter's being weird and won't let you, send me an email, and in the subject line, whether it's Twitter or my email, put in Thursday things and tell me what Thursday you want to be on. I'll put you on my calendar and we'll get you on. My only caveat is that it's your YouTube channel that you're trying to grow with your content.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, I understand if you're a fan of somebody else's content, but I want to grow you, not them.
Exactly. So, Drew, if you're still here, if you're interested, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just let me know.
Anybody else, just saying. All right. That's all I got. I'm done.
Yeah, sure.
I'm positive, because we
Okay.
got to get over
Thank
the
you.
deleted scenes.
Yes, it's
Sends any last
11:30.
word?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
You put me on the spot. Can't think of anything because you guys need to go. So,
Well, then I will do my usual ending.
Yep.
As y'all know, I always say subscribe to one another and make sure you're still sub. But we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room. We're enjoying each other's company. We're having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys so very much. You can be anywhere, and you're going to be over in Deleted Scenes channel soon. But you chose to be here for, for the last hour and a half, which is really great. And it's so encouraging. I love seeing y'all here. I hope to see you again next time. God bless. Take care of yourselves. And we definitely will see you next time. In fact, we're going to see you over on Deleted Scenes. So head over that way right now. Good night, everyone.
bye.
Bye-bye.